What's going on? It's the God King's son. You know, we up there in the lab. You're getting the inside look with my man E Boogie. 50 years of hip hop anniversary. That's what it is. Peace.
Yo, it ain't about the clothes or the jewels or the cars. It ain't about the bitches or the liquors in the bars. It ain't about the swag, it ain't about the floss. It's about getting the bag and becoming the boss. Wherever there's gain, best believe there's a loss. So either pay attention or else pay the cost. You could get high on whatever that please you. You might need weed, but where that's gonna lead you. Being transparent don't even mean you see through. I don't smoke weed, cause I really don't need to. And I put the drink down, cause it's time to think now. Paper makes paper only when you put the ink down. Rap is a young man's game. This is hip hop. You don't need to know my name. I don't TikTok, doing goofy shit to get a laugh or a like. I'm the God and I only speak math on the mic.
Top bullies the boulders, kick them in the shoulders, mush them down the mountain, shitting while they shouting. Gangsters on the gully shit. Call a fine hoe, ugly bitch, survive a crash landing on some sully shit. You on a dolo mobile, doing popo promo, snatching all your GoPros, throwing solo bolos. 60-second check-in session, you own it. 1 minute to the limit, just a mash you moment. X him out, mess him up, hot out and LVX's rub. Dress him up with extra stuff, bless him brother, X him up. Coastal different, social distance, next to you. Scratch a record, burn a fader, Terminator, eczema. Cat got your tongue cause the dog's on your ass. Don't switch like a bitch, less the thongs on your ass. From Jersey, forget about it, head of the panel. Play yourself, find yourself in a soprano piano.
What is the streets? What is that? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Well, even with that, the streets.
What are the streets? What's the definition of the
See, again, the definition has changed. Everything, all things change in time. The definitions of the streets is your name, your character. Again, if you don't have knowledge of the streets of a neighborhood, who runs the streets and how to maneuver throughout the streets, you're not going to last in the streets. Now the streets are a lot of, take it all the way back, New York, Chicago, wherever, immigrants came here. Black people were the only ones that were not immigrants. Everybody else came here looking for a life. The Italians, the Irish, the Asians, Chinese, Russians, everybody came looking for a life here. So wherever they found themselves in a group, most of the immigrants came with poor people. So when they came, whatever area that all of their people was in, the Jewish community, Little Italy, Chinatown, Little Russia, Odessa, whatever, all those people were poor. So what you did, the streets were the way to get money. The fast way. But when you try to get money the fast way, there's going to come certain things that you have to do that will not be considered law-abiding or lawful, things that are not respectable. But so, like when you look at The Godfather and you look at whatever Al Pacino's father name was, who was Robert De Niro, young little kids, you know, you got to pickpocket, you breaking in the stores, stealing fruit. But as you grow up and you live in the streets, you start to develop a character to get more money. And to do this, you have to do more things that are disrespectful to you and your people. But for the survival of their people, that's why street business became what it was. So, like when you hear cats, well, I sold crack because I had to feed my family, I had to feed my grandmother. By the crack time, no you didn't, nigga. You just wanted to have little drug dealing money and wear chains and all that shit. Now back in them days, in the 20s and the 30s, they really had to do that because they were poor. There was the recession and, the Great Recession and Depression. Motherfuckers were starving. Your mom's eating soup, so you getting out there and you mobbing it out in the streets. So then the more you got into the streets and you mobbed it out, you kind of carved a reputation and a character for yourself as a person of the streets. But the streets are dangerous. There's drugs in the streets. There's number running in the streets. There's prostitution in the streets. There's extortion and gambling in the streets. All of these things are illegal against the law, but this is what's called the streets back then. So now that's when it was dangerous. But what we don't realize is we don't own these streets or these blocks. We don't own the property. We don't own the buildings. We don't own the neighborhoods, nor do we control them. You can control your block until police are called, and then you don't control that block. So what the streets has trickled down to meaning to us, oh, I'm street, I'm hood, you're illiterate, you're ignorant, you talk slang, you don't got no respect for your mother or your father or your elders, you gonna forever be young, you prey on weak people, you bully people, you don't gotta have knowledge of nothing. As long as you got a gun or as long as you got some titties in the ass and you can talk slang, you're street. But the street don't love you, it don't last long, and when the street is ready to claim you, again, you know, Tupac did some street shit. Biggie did some street shit. Didn't work out for them.
So you think that it's possible to actually be like, fuck the street? You think that's a good movement, that the youth should be like, fuck the street?
Of course it should be like fuck the streets, because you look at, I'm gonna just, my man Jim Jones, I really don't know the cat. I might have seen him once or twice. I know Cameron, Mace, rest in peace Huddy, Big L brother, I'm the OG to all the little Manhattan Center crew. My man showed me a picture when they was playing basketball, Cam and Mace and them, Pleasant Avenue over there back. And I know them young brothers, and I kind of watched them come up from afar. See, why they wouldn't look at King's son and say, oh, well, I know King's son, and he was a gangster, he used to be outside, and he used to have a BMW and a jewelry. If they cannot tell you all that shit about me, that meant I was fly, because they wasn't supposed to know that shit about me. If I was loud enough for them to see, oh, King's son, what this grown-ass man doing by the high school, Manhattan Center? But while I would go around there, because my man, Robert Hill from Zakiya Records, his daughter, Zakiya Smith, and his son, Kareem Smith, Lil Nitty, like my little brother and sister, went there. So I would be there checking them out, watching them, but I'm watching the whole thing. Not on no weird, creepy shit. We wasn't trying to bag no little girls from there. I'm watching my little brother, K Nitty. I'm watching my little sister, Kia. Seeing that they good, seeing how they move, then we slide off. Goes 130 seconds, see Rich, start shooting dice. You feel me? So when it comes to the streets, ain't nobody really supposed to know what you do. That's why now the street shit don't work. There's cameras everywhere. There's no code of ethics. Brothers are snitching and cheating. There's phones and recording devices and shit like that. The streets are done, man. And the streets ain't really nothing to uphold, because the streets and the street life don't love you. If that answers your question or all those.
Yeah, absolutely it does. It's the thing with the streets is that you have, like, people, as you named Jim Jones and other people, having back and forth, because some people feel that they were, the streets raised them, the streets, made them. So this, my take on it is this: I was always raised to understand that, like saying fuck the street is the same thing as the drop my flag movement. They're one and the same.
Right, I'm knowledge that.
And I was raised to, be taught that once you win, there's no out. You know what I'm saying? The only way out is death. Now.
No disrespect, all those are adopted characters of mafia and Italian shit.
Of course they are.
You feel me?
But where did they get it from?
That's what they developed as immigrants, poor, coming from Italy and China and blah, blah, blah. We going over to America, we doing this. Once you get with us, then when it was real, you taking real situations and real laws, it's just like this. The Constitution was some real shit, right? The Constitution didn't apply to black people though. We was product, we was stock, we was property. That shit wasn't we the people. So we never became the people. We still the product. We still bought and sold. That Constitution, that's why they violate your rights. They run up on you, put your hands up, we searching your shit. They run up on a white boy, he pulling out a gun, busting them niggas, and they ain't gonna kill him. Even when they catch him. They gonna kill your ass quick because we are not a part of that constitutional right. And these, drop your flag. It really was never your flag, man. You ain't really no blood or Crip. If your father was a blood or Crip and your grandfather or your grandmother was, it could be respected. Black Peace Stones, Vice Lords. It's rare where they come from because those were black people in gangs that had to fight to look out for their communities. You young brothers with these flags and shit, you're fucking up your community. But how you gonna take the laws of that shit and apply it? Oh, blood in, blood out. To do what? I go to jail, nigga, you gonna leave me in there while you have sex with my girl. You ain't got my back. Oh, don't snitch. I ain't gonna snitch. I'm in there for 20 years. Ain't none of y'all sent commissary or looked out or nothing. Looked out for my mother. The fuck going to my girl house trying to fuck her and give her money. Y'all ain't looking out for my mother, my little brother, my sister, none of that, man. Drop the flag. I ain't saying drop your flag to LA. Like I said, my peoples that's out there that's really, or Chicago, that shit is in some people's bloodline. If you from New York and New Jersey and Louisiana, that shit ain't in your bloodline, man. That's some shit y'all did on some rap shit. Cause like I said, none of y'all was Bloods and Crips. Not from LA, none of y'all was Bloods and Crips before y'all saw Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood. Which is that's why those movies came out. Like Scarface. When Scarface came out, when Colors came out, nobody jumped to be gangbangers.
I think it was to open the door for it, though.
Colors, like Ice-T said when he talked about it in Drink Champs. If you knew about the gang mentality, the whole Colors shit was fake. Mexican gangs ain't fighting black gangs because it would be an Armageddon. When you go to jail, you ain't in no jail out in LA where they Bloods and Crips and niggas is all together until they fight. No, that don't happen like that. It didn't happen like that. But they put it out there that's art trying to imitate life, and those of a weak mind will see the art and take for granted its life and fool themselves into doing so.
That's why it's very careful what we put out, because the brain is a sponge, and whatever the brain
and it's going to absorb
it
and hold it like water.
Yes, that's why it's so very important what we put out.
Weak or strong, but yeah, man, drop the flags, man. Drop the flags. Y'all not going to jail for something valid like a Tukey Williams or a T. Rogers. They fought against police, man. They picked up their arms. No disrespect. I ain't telling nobody to go kill police or fight police. But y'all not gangsters. Y'all not backing down ICE. Y'all not backing down. Y'all ain't got police scared to come to y'all hood. Police run, y'all run. Police come, y'all run. But you running throwing guns in the faces of all little girls and boys. You dissing people, mothers and fathers. You an old nigga, you this, that, and the third. Police come around, smack the fake dreads out of your face, and you crying police brutality. When I did, Larry Davis, what Larry Davis did? What Larry Davis did, V?
He went to war with the cops.
With police, he let them have it. He made them look stupid. He wasn't even in the building. He bust through the walls. That's the God. Y'all ain't doing that. Y'all quick to pick up arms and shoot the next black man. And they gonna let you get away with that shit cause you helping them. You subtracting yourself. The gods, we deal with the science of build and destroy, man. Y'all dealing with the science of destroy. So how can you live in valor? How could you be proud and poke your chest out? When you look at all these shows, no disrespect to Shy, Power, and of these little BMF, it's always about, we need some product, we selling some drugs, we killing some niggas. That's all it is. We move drugs, we selling it to our people, and we killing our own motherfucking people. And that's what they keep selling to us to keep it in our minds that this is who we are and this is what we should do.